Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Courage of Steel and Supreme War Ultimate. In previous episode we figured out that we could actually just use Algeria's territory to attack into the next territories that we are going to go into, which is mostly the French West Africa. Eventually we'll probably go into a few other areas as well in here, but like first we'll take this, we'll go into that town, I guess is our first proper target. We've skipped a tiny bit ahead just to get the military complex and the barracks completed in here. So that's going to start increasing the supplies that we have in this region. It's probably not going to be a massive boost. It should be enough to at least make a difference. So we'll start driving down here to see how far we can actually get. Now, the supplies over here aren't going to be all that massive. We've got a lot of the troops over here sort of preparing to get to the other side. Oh, I can see some French units here. They are... okay, AMX... yeah, that's not too bad. Pretty sure the T10s will be sufficient to defeat those. So the French have started bringing stuff in here. I suppose this is the closest... actually, where would be the closest port? Over there, maybe? Or maybe they just landed in here somehow. But regardless, we'll just send in the T10s and some of the combat engines to deal with those. They are actually dealing a lot of damage, a lot more than I expected. Now we're also dealing some damage. It's a good thing that we got the barracks, but we might need to set up some defensive lines in here. So just for the heck of it, I'm just going to build some trenches in here. That's actually not the correct category. Right, so we took a bit of damage there. We got one of the escort designs, or escort ship designs completed now. So that's going to free up a bit of research for some more useful things perhaps, like the modern sub prototype, which that's gonna get us closer to unlocking the November class submarines. Norway is wanting to buy some military goods from us. Okay, I'm not gonna question it. Right, so some of these might need to go get some repairs, I reckon. And there's some Algerian supply truck trying to help us here. Alright, I mean, I appreciate it. Let's bring in some more troops down that way, and then we'll send in another one across. Have these slowly inch forward. So sending one across at a time, so if need be we can send in the supply trucks to help with that. The total supplies that we have here is currently 40%. It is going to be reaching a bit, or quite a bit higher eventually. Also, I believe there's more submarine action going somewhere. Oh, these are running a bit low on supplies. Alright, let's go ahead and start bringing in some of these more up-to-date submarines in. I'll have to send probably these two back anyway. We might have a few more in here. Yeah, we've got another 2 in here actually. That's going to get us to do 6 of these more updated. There's not going to be a massive rush into the Baltic Sea by the looks of it, but there might be some occasional fighting in there. Oh, let's bring that one back a little bit. So that one's going to push in, isn't it? Luckily our troops should be able to deal quite some damage. We've got a little bit of supplies in here, whereas they don't have any. Now as soon as we get the trenches, we'll just building up some garrisons in those. Right now we'll just have some troops guard them. At least the first ones in here. Because this is kind of going to be the western flank for this operation, just following the border between the Spanish Sahara and French West Africa. Because the enemies can bring troops there. They might not be bringing all the troops there. They will be bringing some. Have we got... okay, we do have a bit of supplies over here now. There we go. Ooh. Brazil declared war on Paraguay. Aha. Is Paraguay now part of the... no, they are non-aligned still. I'm just going to acknowledge that for now. But maybe they're trying to get through Paraguay to get into Argentina, because Argentina seems to be... well, they're losing a lot of ground now. I don't know if they managed to get any of the troops. Well, I suppose even if we sold the troops to the Argentinians, they've not started transporting them yet. That's a bit of a problem for them. We do have a fair bit of troops near Leningrad still. But I don't think I'll be able to transport them anywhere, realistically speaking. Oh, did we? I'm pretty sure we had a group of artillery. Yes, we did. Let's send that in here. That one will be able to deal with a lot of the enemy troops here without getting interrupted. And huge thanks to Algeria using the supply trucks to supply my troops. Now, to be fair, those supply trucks were something that I owned before they did, but regardless. There we go, that one's pushed back. Still doing a lot of trading. Oh, we're trading more rubber to Czechoslovakia. Okay. It's fairly balanced trade, at least. Unemployment is dropping down to 3.6. We're probably building a bit too much units right now. Oh, and we need to get some garrisons, don't we? There we go. Well, that should at least garrison up most of these. All the way. We just need to get the artillery in here and start dealing damage to the enemies. Slowly but surely that will succeed. Oh, we did have a supply truck in here. Alright, well in that case this group can probably go all the way already across. Okay, 15 days for the Zulus. So the Zulus are going to be a bit better submarines compared to the Whiskies, simply because of the fact that they got extra range. Whereas the Whiskies do not have, like, they can shoot 2 hexes away with their torpedoes, whereas the Whiskies can only shoot to the neighboring hexes and all the hex that they're in. Oh, Argentina is buying some military goods from us. How much military goods do we have? We got a decent bit, we're also producing a lot. Now, to be fair, there's also... increase the minimum price there. We're making an okay profit out of it, but I suppose that's one of the reasons why we are... Yeah, the inflation is 8% already. Wow. Okay. How's the population? Not necessarily great. I mean, well, it is increasing by 2 million per year, so I wouldn't say that that's necessarily bad. I'm sure that it could be better. Alright, let's just move those forward and these forward. And these can be pushed across. We'll probably take some more troops. Oh wow, yeah, we've got a lot of troops waiting here. I believe some of these were from Madagascar, weren't they? Let's bring them to the airfield. So the fighting over here isn't going to be all that high risk for us necessarily. Although we'll have a decent bit of troops in here. Oh, and West Germany is buying some agriculture stuff from us again. That's good. Now I can't enter across this border, but as long as I have the garrisons in here, I can basically stop them from getting in. Other than maybe over here. Well, if we have the troops, then we can push them back. And they shouldn't have supplies in here at all. Whereas we do. So they most likely won't be able to hold on to the areas regardless. Even if they get in there. As long as we destroy the troops. Now let's just take the air gun and the artillery in here. And we can bring it probably over there. We'll take one of these groups. Okay, over here. Sphere chains. Okay, Czechoslovakia is switching back again to the non-aligned. That's a bit annoying. We are down to 80 nations within the sphere. I'll sell them some technology for a cheap price. I think that should make them slightly happier, although whether that's going to be sufficient or not, I don't know. We've got a few units over here. I don't think they'll be able to get across the border. It's a bit too far away. There's a village over there. We need to basically get all the way to there with our no supplies. That's not going to be happening. Not yet, anyway. Are we actually dealing damage to the troops there? Not really. With the supply truck with the artillery. And now they're back to leaning. Okay, so selling the technologies did still help with the opinion. Go ahead and increase the... set up some garrisons over here again. That's going to make sure that we have garrisons all along the border. Of course, we haven't captured all the way, but we captured already over here. So there's a bit of a gap in here, which they do have supplies in. Because there is a small village there. Which means that if we were to bring in, say, this group... Is there an airfield nearby? There is an airfield over there. I don't know if they've actually brought in any planes, though. Quite often they don't bring planes to other continents. Because it's a bit difficult. You can do sea transport with the planes. But at the same time, the AI usually just doesn't utilize that. So I'm building up some supply depots. We already built the airfield, which was probably completed just about now. But we've got the 3 more supply depots, which is going to put, well, technically speaking, even with the airfield, we should be reaching, if we had just 2 supply depots, we should be reaching 90% supplies, which is already pretty darn good. But we should be going to 100% with all of that. And Czechoslovakia is switching back again. Alright, but yeah, we got the airfield. Getting some more trades done. Let's just go ahead and sell Czechoslovakia a bit more technology then. Take another 100 million from them, but at the same time we'll give them so much technology that they don't need to do a lot of research for a little bit. Or they do, but they can switch all the projects at least. Or most of the projects. Right, let's bring these across the... or over there. Oh. Let's go ahead and just move some of these further south. Oh, there we go. Still don't know if the artillery over here could actually deal damage to the enemy or not. But so far, so good. Bringing more troops south. We can... oh, we lost some control in here. Who is controlling that? That's just French control. Okay. So there might be some French troops approaching from south. We'll need to go and investigate that. Let's just go ahead and actually send this entire group here. Destroy those troops defending... oh yeah, there were some enemy troops here. Alright. Let's move you guys south. And then these can start going about down this way. We should be able to get the supply spread in here relatively quickly. There we go, that's another one destroyed. It's not going to be very high supply lines for the enemy either, so all in all it should be more in our favor than theirs. Right, and then we got this entire stack here. This is probably going to be a bit foolish. I'm just going to bring the stack over here, then I'll slowly start moving them across. It's just I'll need to have them wait a little bit over there to make sure that they're back to full supplies. But that's about it. Inflation is still at 8%. Oh dear. Right, so supplies. We've got supplies for most of this area, so I'm just going to quickly build some more trenches. Because the trenches are going to be fairly cheap way to sort of protect the border without leaving troops constantly guarding it, you know. Right, so some of these tanks are actually surprisingly good, I suppose. But if they don't have supplies, they won't be able to fight for long. Plus, there we go, we destroyed that one. Have these pushed forward, do they? Oh, they might have supplies. No, they don't. We don't have enough supplies over here either. So the supplies probably haven't spread all the way yet. Can't say that I'm surprised by that, in all honesty, but regardless. Sending some more troops closer. These have arrived here just about now. Are they full on fuel? More or less. Let's get across the road there, or across the desert there, to the next road, and then start heading south. Oh, there's an enemy tank here. Luckily we did build up the barracks, so we can repair troops in here without having to sail all the way back to home. So I'm just going to send this to be repaired. We'll keep some troops there. We could even bring in the artillery group down this way, because this is probably going to be the first area that they'll try to push into again at some point. So we'll just bring the artillery there. We will have some garrisons in. Well, actually, we already have garrisons in the trenches for the most part, so we don't actually need to leave these troops behind as such. We'll probably need to have some troops sort of as a mobile reserve, but beyond that, we can just push forward. Right, so we've got quite a bit of supplies in here, so it's slowly spreading further south, giving us even more territory to control, which is definitely good news for us. How are we... oh yeah, we're spending a lot of money. I think we are still buying a lot of military goods, aren't we? Probably. At least to some degree. Yeah, we're just losing like 100 million per day. Well, I suppose a large chunk of that is just we don't have enough income. Which... we could maybe increase the sales tax to 40%. That's going to increase the income from there a little bit. So the more we get from money from domestic sales, basically. Or like for each sale, there's going to be a little bit extra taxed. And 50%, then yeah, it's not too bad for us. Although the population might not like it, but that's just how it is. Okay, so some of these troops did not get all the way through. Let's just let the Algerians supply me for a little bit in there. There's an enemy motorized engineer there just sitting around, not doing anything important. Let's start pushing further south with these spearheads. Is there anything over here that we need to be worried about? Probably not yet. Might be later on, but if we can get to that village, then that would be a good spot to sort of set up the next outpost. And since they are a colony, I don't think the garrisons themselves are going to be particularly threatening. Right, we don't have supplies in here yet, so we'll just wait a day or two. We do have supplies there, so you can maybe move forward, and then let's just quickly start building a few more trenches. Make sure that we got the garrisons up and running in the previous trenches that have already been built. Oh, Argentina is at war with Uruguay. Okay, but Argentina has managed to push in a little bit further again. They lost a little bit ground, but then they're pushing in. Okay, not necessarily in favor of destroying everything, but oh well. I'm just going to give Argentina a bit of research for free for the time being. And also, Czechoslovakia, oh, you switch hands again. I'm going to give you some free tech as well. Maybe we can make you, well, it's probably not going to make you like us all that much, but one can hope. I'm going to give some text for Hungary as well. If you could make them be Warsaw Pact aligned. Which is not guaranteed that we can, but we can certainly hope so. Oh, Czechoslovakia is still not okay. So no, that doesn't really help with the relations sufficiently, at least. Have we got on? Okay, we've got 12, 17, and 14% of supplies in here. We'll start pushing in. I think these three groups together will be sufficient to deal with the garrisons. Without, oh, there's no garrison there. Never mind. Well, in that case, it's really easy to deal with the garrison. We still got plenty of submarines in here, so that's good. And we did manage to get the ship that was stuck here to move in at least, so that's good. But yeah, we didn't have to do the landings in here, which saves us a lot of time. Now, one thing that I will probably have to do is eventually we'll need to do a landing in France. Now, there's few places to do that. Well, I'd say there's 3 areas to do that. Not within the English Channel, because that's got to be suicide. Over here we could do, but there's no ports nearby that we can get, so we'd have to build a port, and that is going to be way too long time for us to hold. Another option would be to do a landing in, like, Brest. There's a couple ports in there, so if we just do a landing there, capture the port, and then capture that, we'd already have a bit of a sort of area to hold on to. Then we just push it further. If we can get into, like, most of Brittany, if we hold that, just set up some defensive lines over here, we can just start bringing in more reinforcements during that time as much as we need. And that is probably the best option. Another option would be maybe to do a landing near Bordeaux, but going to Bordeaux itself, it does have a sea pier, but it's going to be a little bit risky going in there. I mean, I suppose we could take the airfields here first, but yeah, there is a lot of airfields, so that is going to be a problem. Plus, it's a little bit difficult to get to with the reinforcements. I mean, Brittany isn't that easy necessarily either, but if we move in from, say, Algeria, then we should be fairly straightforward route. Just go through Gibraltar and all that. And then we get in here. We're still losing a lot of cash, aren't we? Is there something that we're not selling? We're not selling the rubber right now. Okay, I'm just going to not sell most of that. We'll have to... Oh, well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to even sell any of that directly into the market right now. Timber, we are still selling. Petroleum, we're still selling. Coal, we are not selling. Because the production price is so much higher. Alright. Metal ore, we are selling. We could probably sell another, like, 10 million at least. Give us a bit of extra cash. Electricity we are selling. We might lower the minimum price for the electricity though a little bit. And then consumer goods we are selling. Getting a decent bit of cash. I mean, we are also putting a decent bit of that into stockpile just so that we can do some manual trades. Industrial goods we are still buying. And I'm guessing for, yeah, we've got a decent price in there. So that's not a problem. And military goods. It does cost quite a bit to produce. We're not selling all of it. At least the price isn't too bad, but I think the... Yeah, selling conditions aren't all that great, so we might just reduce the actual production of these again. Just go to like 35%. There's still going to be about 4,000 tons of production per day. That's going to reduce the cost of things a decent chunk. We're of course selling quite a bit to Argentina, so that is one way for us to get money, but I don't know how long those sales are going to be ongoing. I'm going to take these troops and move them down this way. Got the infantry in there, which can probably go across the desert there without any problems. Ceasefire between Mayotte and North Vietnam. Excellent. So there's less and less combat between within our faction. A couple more trenches in here. And I suppose we could just... Oh, yeah, we already captured that. Never mind. Research breakthrough. Naval detection improvement. Oh. Alright, they didn't unlock anything new yet. Also going to get the modern helicopter very shortly. We don't have that many things that we're trying to research right now. I mean, well, we've got quite a long list of things that we can't start researching yet. But we've queued them up as soon as we can. Let's go ahead and get some more troops over here. They're going to try to get across, but that's just a Bren carrier, so it's not going to be that effective. Oh, they managed to get through. Do they have supplies in here? No, not really. And the garrison's got some action at least. We're down to 6.7 billion. Okay, let's have a look at India and China. Could we sell some technology, for example? Commercial nuclear power for China seems like a brilliant idea. But yeah, we're down to 18 nations in our faction right now. Maybe we'll park this group in here. We'll still have the garrisons in these two. So that's going to keep us mostly safe. We could bring in some more artillery down here. But even that is going to be hopefully sufficient. I mean, we don't... Do we have the... No, we don't have the trench being built there. It's just these three that I started building. Alright, let's go ahead and get these two underway. Right, so we did sell probably quite a bit of the metal ore, so that gave us a bit of cash, but that's not sufficient to stop the deficit right now. South Africa wants to buy some more consumer goods. They are paying a good price. I will take that. I might...
We need reinforcements.
Oh. We do have troops in there, but they're not going to get through there. I wasn't expecting them to actually get in there. You know what? I'm just going to park these in here. I am going to build a trench at the border there. There we go, we've got the land production. What I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to start producing the new Spetsnaz. It's going to take 60 days for each unit, so it's a bit of a long time. But at the same time, they are pretty effective. I mean, especially the city combat on those should be bloody massive. We've got plenty of tanks and such already in this front here, so I don't think we need more right now. I mean, we do need to reach the port in there and port over there. I mean, getting in there is going to be a problem though. But with enough artillery, we could probably do it. Also, one thing that I suppose I could do is I could start building a road through here. Just a simple road going further south, just link it up over here somewhere, or maybe over there. So that's going to give us a bit more supplies in this region, going through the... Well, I mean, I don't know how far that supplies can reach, but it's currently at 50% supplies, are going to reach 100% eventually. Well, it's in 14 days, so that's not too bad, actually. And we got the modern helicopters researched. Road construction has begun, indeed, and then consumer goods for South Africa. I suppose we can sell that. It is at least a little bit more cash for us. Unemployment is slowly going up, judging by the inflation. Argentina declared war on Peru. Okay. So, South America is in bit of a chaos. I suppose what I could do is I could start reserving some of these units in here. Or maybe, like, just put the production to be, don't deploy, but we'll produce them. So I can start selling a bit more troops in here. Why are you going all the way here? Right, but let's go ahead and sell some tanks to Argentina. That's a few of them. Nothing massive, we'll just give those for free. Let them sort of advance further. I mean, they take out Brazil, and ooh, right, Paraguay is a dictatorship. Can I maybe do some deals with you? No, you don't want a non-aggression pact, so I'm guessing that's a no then. I'm going to start gifting some consumer goods, or trading some consumer goods to Czechoslovakia for a while. Of course, since we're so far zoomed out, the frame rate of the game is going to be a little bit rubbish, but... 90 days, if we sell 1,000 tons per day, it'll be quite a bit. We'll be getting a bit of money out of it, at least. And China is now non-aligned. Oh, wow. Okay. We are not doing a good job of keeping everyone inside the faction. But it's just, it's difficult. Suppose we could keep buying some industrial goods from China. How much do I need to pay for, say, 1,000 tons per day? 78 million. Okay, that's not too bad. How is our treaty integrity, by the way? It is already 73.5. And one thing that we did get in at a point before some of the episodes is... or before the previous episode, rather, is the advisors from World Market for our military, because, you know, the opinion has gone up sufficiently for that. Okay, they're not buying the consumer goods. That's a bit of a shame. And China has moved back to the Warsaw Pact, at least. So there is that. And these could actually just entrench. I sort of get a bit of defensive... Oh, right, actually, that reminds me. Increase the garrisons in here. Or raise up the garrisons, and then these can start pushing south. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have to end the episode here. But in between the episodes, I'll probably pay a little bit forward and prepare some troops to start just driving along the road here all the way through. Then we'll probably have to build some sort of road going down that way. And since this has an airfield, we'll probably build up a couple of supply depots there, just to provide some extra supplies, and we could maybe build a road through here. Eventually, at least. So all that's going to be a bit of a shortcut for the troops going through. And then, of course, there's the Senegal and all that. And Senegal is something that we'll probably be able to conquer fairly quickly once we actually get troops in there. We've got quite a bit of troops waiting in here that we just need to move through, but that's just going to be a matter of time. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.